All right, peeps. Good morning. Daddy Love Guru here, having some coffee. Gonna talk to you about some stuff that we haven't talked about in a while. Boosteroid, of course. Shout out to Boosteroid. They got some news. That's some big news again. There's a lot going on. Okay. I haven't done an update in a while. I've been having PC problems and a bunch of audio issues. I actually have no idea how this is gonna turn out. I'm on my third mixer. Let me tell you, dual PC setups are cool and all if you're fortunate enough to be able to get one, but they're a giant pain in the booty. And this is where something like Boosteroid is perfect. I actually still use it a lot, even with a high-end PC build. If you don't know what Boosteroid is, it essentially is a cloud gaming platform where you can log into your accounts like Steam and Epic and things and Xbox and play your library from basically a high-end gaming PC at a data center somewhere with low latency, which it really is in most places in the world, that you wouldn't even notice the difference if you were sitting on your console or your PC at home. And you have full access to your library, whatever you own. Well, I'll back that up. There's some games that are not on there, but honestly, there's over 1,300 games down or something like that. And you'll see that, really, I mean, all the major ones are there, which is what we're going to talk about right now. And you might be like, well, why would I do that, Boosted Beard? Well, for $8 a month, you can basically have a 7900 XT supercomputer on your phone, on your tablet, on your TV, on a crappy desktop, on a nice desktop, in a browser, on an app, and play up to 4K 120 gaming. And that's pretty freaking crazy if you do the math. You can see what they got. They'll go over the new ones as they like to add games. I feel like I wake up every day and they're like, we added new games. You got the new stuff that's out right here. We can already see we got some bangers. So good to see Remnant on here as well. That's another good indie. They got Silk Song already. That's crazy. Bunch of Game Pass games. Yeah, added the big ones. Off the Grid is on there, which is cool for free to play. If you don't have a lot of games or you don't want to buy a lot of games, you can still play free to plays on here like Fortnite and Off the Grid. Let's see. Ooh, they got Dead Zone. That's actually a pretty neat little game. We've got Armada Warfare's Steam versions and Game Pass versions, which is super cool. Man, they just added a bunch of games. Backrooms together, and yes, this is online. This is think of this as like a computer you rent for $8 a month, and you just log in with your accounts and play your games. In whatever online access those games have, you have. Dying Light, my favorite. Manhunter, one of the coolest games I think I've ever played in the last few years. I mean, we go on this list forever. Okay, so if you're not sure about your game, if they have it or not, because they don't have every single game, but they have most. I mean, I think they have pretty much all the big games and the indie ones too. You can come to the website. The link's down below. If you ever have any questions, go to their help center. Their help center has a ton of stuff. Click this little nubby over here, and one of the cool things about Boosteroid is you can pick your language, and then you will actually talk to a real person. So eventually you're gonna get a real person that cares. Boosteroid doesn't have any caps on playtime, unlike other services or cloud services. They're probably cheaper than anybody else. It's not a full virtual desktop. It's more of an access port. They work closely with AMD to basically bring the latest and greatest and design better tech and algorithms, encoders, decoders for just better picture quality, better latency, which is pretty cool because AMD, I gotta say, over the years has lacked on that, where NVIDIA's really pulled ahead, and even Intel has. And you can see that in the consoles as well. Their stream quality is not as great, and those chips just never got to work and love. And where with these guys are working with them with custom hardware, I don't know the ins and outs of that. That's on their technical end. I'm sure that's their business, but it's cool to see that they're doing that. There is partnerships that they have with different developers, including Mercedes, Xbox, Samsung, all kinds of cool stuff. So that's a little rundown of Boosteroid. You want to know more, hit the links, hit me up. You can find me on socials, find me on X, find me on TikTok, find me on YouTube, find me maybe under your bed eating snacks. I don't know. Anyways, yes, there's controller support on the app. There is touchscreen support for some games. You can check that out too. Yeah, the Google Asus is another one. You know, they got a partner. I think, and I could be wrong about this, I should know this, they were trying to put Boosteroid in Mercedes. Like in like the touchscreens and stuff. It was something like that. I don't know. That's crazy. Point is, these guys over here, they're gamers. Like, they're legit gamers, and they want to bring gaming to everybody. That's their main goal. Okay, there's some cool interviews out there with the CEO and stuff. That's their goal. They want to bring gaming to everybody at an affordable price. So, what are they doing now? Okay, well, we have Ultra. Okay, so Ultra is, go back here. Ultra is their introductory price right now. I don't know how long this is gonna last. For this price, even at 15-ish, let's say 12, 15-ish, wherever you're at. It depends where you're in the world. And yes, they have American servers. You can come here, go through all the information you want to know, and find out if they got a server in your country or where you're at. But basically, you get a 4K up to 120 virtual machine for $14 a month. Right now, it's only $8-ish, and you're locked into that, which is, I mean, to have it on your tablet, your phone, your TV, your crappy Chromebook, wherever you want. And now, granted, like, if that device doesn't have a 4K screen, but like you can push it to like ultra settings on those older devices, because it's just pushing it to that screen through Wi-Fi or internet, which is something you do need. And you can come here and do that test and all that stuff as well. But for $8, man, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. You can get all your information here about it, which is pretty cool. They have a nice little FAQ. The FAQ is great. Actually, I recommend reading through the FAQ if you're not sure about cloud gaming. But for that price, they basically have the 7900 XT PC in your hand, whatever you want. That's what she said. It's crazy. So do it. I just test it out. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't. They introduced AV1 encoding. Let's see if we can find that article. I'm all over the place. I'm not awake when I do this. I never do this when I'm awake. There's so much to cover. So, there's a little article about AMD and them working together, which is cool. And I want to be real straightforward here. I believe this is the future, and I think everybody else does too. If you know, pay attention to what Xbox and PlayStations do. So if you don't know what AV1 codecs is, it's basically smaller container for all your bits for data in a nutshell. It's just a better container, let's put it that way. So you get improved compression, you get a better image, you can get more data. It's cheaper for the companies that send it, the ISP, the people that obviously have to rent or buy the equipment for that. It's just a newer, updated version that we use compared to the H.264. I'm sidetracked here. I usually can explain this better because I deal with this every day when I teach people how to use OBS and things and uploads. Basically, they're using the newer protocol, the newer design, instead of the old, very outdated old design on how we send video. And that means better latency, better picture quality, smoother, easier to dev for, on standard. Most new hardware uses it. it's cheaper on your bandwidth usage, so it's easier for you to get that video signal. So like, say you want a 4K image, you want to play 4K, but your internet's like not super great. Well, this gives you an opportunity to like potentially have a better experience because it uses less download speed. And all that stuff is user and usage may vary, obviously. Everybody has different internet. Everyone has different ISPs that have different protocols. Everyone has different hardware at home that is provisioned differently. And sometimes that's at a hardware internal level. So it's impossible to be like, yeah, that'll work for you. Like you really have to just try it. And also, if you have other problems, get on the forums, get on the Reddits, get on the FAQs. For $8 a month. Take a little bit of time to figure out how to get this working all right. But when I say this, you don't really have to. It should just work. And if it doesn't, then you probably have a bigger problem at home with ISP and things like that. So, anyways, I keep it moving. Otherwise, it's getting really long. That's big news. That's huge. That's huge. This needs to be applied to all cloud gaming, like Xbox and PlayStation and really anybody. Steam, Discord. I think Discord uses AV1. They have to pay for it. Everything's paywalled nowadays. So that's the other big news that we kind of touched upon once. They've also added in a bunch of new cloud servers for people across the country, which is pretty dope. Good to see that. We talked about AI and cloud gaming a little bit. Go read their blog. The blog's really cool, which is another big deal because that's all coming down the pipeline. And now they offer Ultra Pro. Now, I as a Boosteroid partner, I'm, you say good things, but I'm not that kind of guy. And they can be mad at me for this, mad at me or not. I'm just going to give, my thoughts here and it'll be constructive. Because realistically, they do listen to the community and they do make a lot of decisions with their internal ideals and from community feedback. And I think they talk about this somewhere as well. But they actually do. That's one thing about Boosteroid is like you can have a conversation with these people and they hear you, they see you, they listen. Versus like Nvidia, good luck. Nvidia is not even a gaming GPU company anymore. Like they care less. I'm not trying to bash them. Like it's a good service, it works. It's just what you're paying for is ridiculous. And then they like cap everybody's playtime, and it's like they're the wealthiest company in the world. So like if anybody can afford it, it's them. I don't, so it doesn't make sense. Anyhow, they add in some initial benefits. So you can come here to read this, but essentially you still get the 4K 120. It bumps up to $15 a month. Now this is the confusing part because they offer Pro at 8 at a discount, and the Boosteroid, if you're listening, you need to clarify this. I think for everybody, if that discount promo goes away, are we just getting Pro Ultra now at $14 a month, or because it was the same? The Ultra is $14.89, so now it's Ultra Pro. So like, okay, confused, right? And I was hoping they would catch this before I made this video, and they didn't. And I was gonna reach out to you guys. But I was like, you know what? This is on you. This is on you because when I do bring this to people and try to be like, hey, check out this service, because I do daily IRL, like talking to people. I'm like, hey, did you know you can just like not use your crappy laptop anymore and use this, and then use your laptop to stream, and then just use it to play games. Anyways, that's confusing. Because that's at a discounted price for the 12-month is $11. So it's like, do you just automatically go to Pro, or is Pro going to be the new standard? And that's scary because if Pro is going to be the new standard, and you don't get locked in at $8, I don't know, because then we're paywalling features here, and I don't know that everybody gives about certain things, like the Boostcast. I think the Boostcast is a cool thing for some people. I say some people because it's all built in right in the app. However, with bandwidth and internet, I want to say most, in my opinion, consumers that have this as a feature that they need or want probably have very limited hardware and internet. So, I don't know. Maybe I have that data point, but there's better options for streaming your games. There is, and I think it's cool that they want to put this, like, add this as part of the platform package. Like, let me say that I think it's a really cool thing that they already have, but now they're adding 10 slots essentially for the upgrade and price. I don't love that feature. That's a very niche. Everyone already does a better feature being paywalled, and it only being a 10. Like, I get that it costs them a lot of money. It probably costs them a ton of money because streaming platforms, it costs them a lot of money to host. But you have things like Discord now with console integration, with PC integration. You even have things like Hyperbeam, which, by the way, Boosteroid, I've said this out loud to you guys before in an email. You really need to look at Hyperbeam and what their tech is, and probably figure out some sort of partnership with them, because you guys would just kill it with them in some sort of package. Anywho, Tor is like, I don't feel like I'm getting an upgrade for this, because there's so many better and other free ways to do this. I mean, even through Steam or that you already offer to YouTube, to stream to YouTube, which most devices you can double screen or whatever. No. So I don't know. I feel like when you're talking premium plans, people that are using that, it feels like you're already doing other stuff or established stuff. So maybe that's just a regional cultural thing. I don't know. All right, so sessions stay over 15 minutes of inactivity when the user steps away for more peace of mind during short break sessions. I'm torn on this, because at the business standpoint, I really understand where this can cost them a ton of money for people that just like are doing this. Because let's say they had 5 million users on, I don't know, whatever. You know, let's say everyone's using Boosteroid. That could cost them money, and it clogs up queue times. And it is a real pain in the butt when you get your DoorDash or you got to go to the bathroom, and you're like, oh man, my girlfriend called me, or my boyfriend called me, or whatever. And I don't know. I go back to that pricing thing. If Ultra stays at like $8, and then Ultra Pro is $14, I'm all for this. But if we're looking at this, in a sense, it's not going to, but then it's confusing because of the pricing and the language, and we'll get into that. So I think that's something users need. If network blips and drops the session, the player has up to 3 minutes to rejoin a game, so it keeps you on that spun up server. That's cool. And that's the thing that people don't understand. That's the thing that actually ticks me off a lot of times is, if a game has to update on Steam, I have to redo it over and over again half the time, if for whatever reason, if there's a blip or whatever, because that new server it connects me to every single time doesn't have the update. So I feel like that should be built in. I'll be real honest, because of the issues that the system does have as it's built. Primary choose the desired server location at the start of a session. This feature can be enabled in user settings. I've heard their argument on this from the CEO. I don't get put, like, I have gigabit 2 ms latency to my hub, to my plant here, internet fiber. Okay, so I have like incredibly good internet. I am so lucky that it's so good and solid, and I have a server above me and a server below me, and it always connects me to the one furthest away, no matter what device I'm on, no matter the app, no matter, it always does. I don't know why. I don't know what the protocol. I've had the conversation before. So that's where I kind of go, and it sometimes ruins the experience for me. Sometimes, not enough to really complain, because overall it's a good experience. And it's just when I'm trying to do the 4K 120, the maxed out stuff, and I'm like, oh, here goes my latency, and it'll be like little blips, but. And I am a power user, and I understand the technology, so I'm not as mad about it. This is a cool feature, but it also screws with them and people just trying to load up on certain servers they want to play on, or people being toxic, or them thinking they are doing what they need to be and don't realize the server capacity that day or whatever. So like, this is a weird like paywalled access feature to this. And I'm two thoughts here. Like that costs them money at times, or can, with clogging up servers. However, their protocol or algorithm or whatever isn't exactly working great either. So if they were like, hey, we worked on this to, and they always are. I mean, they always are improving stuff. This is not easy. Like, they're building this, right? Like, this is not just like, oh, we're a multi-trillion-dollar NVIDIA. We have a whole division of this. No, like, they're trying to do all of it. So, like, I get it. However, it like, and then also the mindset of like, they need more money, man. It's costing a lot of money. They need more money to innovate faster and grow to scale. So, like, this stuff also being kind of paywalled makes sense, because like the like hardcore power users and the partners and stuff that work with them are getting access to this stuff, and it does help drive sales, and also like, hey, look at this awesome experience I'm having. So like, and this is, I'm just being very open and candid with you guys, because I can't sit here and tell anybody like, don't use Boosteroid unless you just don't live by a server and it just doesn't make sense. Like, you want to fight all day, because even with all this stuff, what they offer for their price is bananas, and you'd be crazy not to get on board with this. I mean, you're gonna pay for your McDonald's once a week or once a month even, and this would cover it. Like this, you know what I'm saying? To be part of this, to learn this, to build your community. Maybe you want to be a content creator with this. Like, you can do so much with this, just a couple bucks a month, and there's already free games. You don't have to buy games. So I can't say anything bad. I'm just being open about like, well, what does this look like, and does it make sense to not be a part of the standard 4K 120? And I think that's about the argument. If the 420 is gonna stay separate at the separate price, then I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say. Add whatever you want at this price. Do whatever you want. Would I like to see something like this for everybody one day? Yeah, because the 4K 120 is not, high latency doesn't work. Just doesn't work when you get in the 4K 120, but we all know that, and then that technology gets better with the encoding and decoding and codecs and things. So, there's the other side of that argument. But that's what they've added to make this a very long video and give you my thoughts. It's as they're saying here, it's just a layer of convenience. We boost rating, deliver top quality performance. Our team is building a new server architectural design to handle blockbuster titles 2026. They're basically saying this isn't going anywhere, which is cool. And yeah, I mean, thank you. Thank you. I do want to know what's going on with the subscription plans, because it is a little confusing, especially when you look at this, and then you look at this, and you're just like, wait a minute, why is this Ultra Pro and this is Ultra? So definitely clean that up, in my opinion. They have a little FAQ if you want to get here and look at it. Basically says community feedback and some stuff they talk about. They got some questions. You know, they're like, Ultra Plan is designed for offer unique benefits generally available cloud gaming services. Yeah, I mean it is, because that's more custom for what your needs are, and like it is. They're not lying there, because nobody else offers it. Now there's like some of the shadow play virtual PCs out there, companies that have like really high tier plans that are more custom for that stuff, but like they still are so expensive. You can just buy a PC, man, in a year. Or a console at that point. Why do I need to pay more if the subscription doesn't provide access to different hardware? Honestly, that's a valid question. However, they already offer good hardware for the price. So, I'm not even going to bother reading that. Yeah. That's, so the server, yeah, this is where they're going to run into trouble. The whole server thing, like, I guess you could figure out regional stuff to like get like bypass in a way, but that you might have a crappy experience and it's not supported. So I would just wait to get servers if I were you. But if there's one way you can do it, do what you gotta do. Starting why is this happening? Specific game cannot. Yeah, see, this is the problem I run into. And sometimes it is a maintenance thing. Sometimes it's when a big game launched or an update did, and like not all the servers are updated because it takes time, right? Or nobody spun up that data center a day. That's just nature cloud gaming. But again, where people go, oh, that's aggravating. I mean, it can be, but for the price, dude, I'm telling you, man, like it's not. It's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Well, why did you add additional wait time for disconnected? I mean, yes, and I think it should just be our own time. The Boostcast, without needing external apps like Twitch, Discord, instead of broadcasting the whole world design private audience. But see, you could do that with YouTube. So I actually need to test that through the app, because if you log into YouTube, you can set your creator settings to private with a private key. Whoever has a link, you can send that link out, or which you have to do with Boosteroid, I'm pretty sure, or they already have it as a follower. I need to figure out if they changed, because they were talking about adding where they get to like the live circle, but I don't know how that works on if that part of YouTube works, where if you set your probably not if you set it private. They'd have to just have the link. When you play a game, Boosteroid your browser, you can start a Boostcast session. Other people can join viewers through a link, watching your gameplay live. I think we're inside the Boosteroid environment, so it's easy. Yeah, again, like I mean, if you look at a thing like Hyperbeam, again, hope Boosteroid watches some of this. You really need to you guys need to collab, man. Hyperbeam is also awesome. This is what this is about. Again, I think this is a cool feature that is a nice ideal, and if they fully build this out, I mean, that's cool. I personally, in my opinion, would rather see the dev time and money go into the other systems, because there is just better ways to do this, in a sense, as well as going forward. It's just, there's going to be better ways. And as people are moved into better devices, it you can run half this stuff in the background now. So OBS, things like that are slobs. Again, lower end devices, but we're getting into an age and year that most people have hardware that can do it. And you can set stuff to private nowadays on some things. Not everything. But there's also other platforms I'm not going to mention here that you can do that with. And you know, so cool ideal. I don't know that I care that much. Some of their games, follow them on Twitter and X, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is a Boosteroid update for you guys. Let me know what you think. Links will be down below. Click it, buy it, helps me out. I don't see a reason not to do it. Like I'm very critical as a consumer, as a user on things, and every time I talk about Boosteroid, I'm like, they're just adding more stuff for your money, and you can't argue with that. Like it's a good option. Dude, I'm telling you, man, like the bell to jump on. Where are we at? The bell to jump on, and like you have different apps, like even Linux, okay, different mobile apps. There's ways to set it up on iOS for people that want to know. Certain Android TVs, there's a desktop app, so a dedicated app. You can also do it in the browser. It's just, it's pretty cool, man. You gotta have like decent internet, but almost everybody does in 2025 to at least get 1080p out of this. 4K is a little different. 4K is gonna take higher bandwidth, 30, 40 megs, 50 megs download speed, consistent. But dude, like you can get on, just play with your friends. You can just get on, play your games, play with your friends. Don't play with your friends. $8 a month. Have a crazy computer in the cloud that will whoop any PS5 or Xbox, and you get to enjoy your games. I'll see you in the next one. Follow me everywhere, including home, as long as you have pizza.